Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome. Have you ever looked at a beautiful detailed print and wondered, how was that made? Or perhaps you've thought about starting a new creative hobby, something you can do right from your own home, but weren't sure where to begin. Well, today I hope to show you that you can create stunning, intricate art prints with just a few basic tools and a bit of curiosity. We're going to be exploring the wonderful world of intaglio etching. The word intaglio is an Italian term that means to incise or engrave. It's a printmaking method where a design is cut into a surface. With etching, we use acid to do the cutting for us. The process involves forcing paper into those lines to pick up the ink, which creates this wonderful, slightly raised texture on the final print. Just look at this example here. On one side, we have the metal plate, our printing element, and on the other, the final print. It's a kind of magic, turning a simple metal sheet into a work of art. So, how do we do it? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what you'll need. It's less than you might think. We can divide the materials into two groups, those for making the plate and those for making the print. To prepare your plate, you need just three essentials. First, a metal plate, usually copper or zinc, which will be our canvas. Second, an acid-resisting ground. This is a waxy substance we'll use to coat the plate. We'll also need an etching needle to draw our design through that ground. And third, acid. We use a mild acid solution to bite into the plate, creating the grooves that will hold our ink. In modern intaglio etching, artists commonly use less hazardous chemicals like ferric chloride, which provides a safer alternative to traditional sulfuric and nitric acids, especially for etching copper and brass plates, while nitric acid is still used for etching, especially with steel, and sulfuric acid has specific uses in certain contexts. Once the plate is made, you need three more things to pull a print. You'll need ink, special paper that has been wetted, and a press. The press applies an immense amount of pressure, pushing the damp paper into the inked grooves of the plate. And that's how the image is transferred. Alright, let's walk through the process. It all starts with the plate. First, you need to prepare it by sanding and cleaning it thoroughly to remove any grease or imperfections. A clean start is key. Next, we apply our acid-resisting ground. Once that's on, the fun begins. You take your etching needle and draw your design, scratching through the dark wax to expose the shiny metal underneath. Every line you draw is a line that will appear in your final print. Now for the acid bath. The plate is submerged and the acid begins to bite only where you've exposed the metal. You'll see tiny bubbles forming. That's the acid at work. You can use a feather to gently brush them away to ensure the lines are etched cleanly. The longer you leave it in, the deeper and darker the lines will be. It's a delicate process. Sometimes, if the ground is faulty or the acid is too strong, a plate can be ruined. It happens to everyone, and it's all part of the learning curve. After its acid bath, the plate is removed and the waxy ground is cleaned off. The final preparatory step is to bevel the sharp edges with a file. This protects your paper from tearing and gives the final print a lovely embossed edge. Now for the moment of truth. First, we apply ink all over the plate, pushing it into every single etched line. Then, and this is a crucial step, we wipe the surface clean. You can use a cloth or even the palm of your hand. The goal is to leave ink only in the grooves, with the surface of the plate clean. While we do that, our paper has been soaking. We take it out and blot it so it's damp, not dripping wet. We then prepare the press, laying our inked plate on the bed, face up. We gently lay our damp paper on top of the plate. Then we cover it with special blankets and roll it through the press. The immense pressure transfers the ink from the etched lines onto the paper. As you peel the paper back, your image is revealed for the first time. It's a magical moment. The final print is then placed between boards to dry flat, preserving the beautiful embossed mark of the plate. Once you've mastered the basics, a whole world of creativity opens up. You can create tones and textures using a technique called aquatint, where you dust the plate with a fine powder called rosin before putting it in the acid. Or you can use soft ground, a pliable ground that picks up the texture of anything pressed into it, like fabric or leaves. This beautiful falcon print was made using that very technique. You can even get into color etching, using stencils or inking up a plate with multiple colors to create vibrant, layered prints. Here, I'm rolling out my primary inks, magenta, yellow, and blue. From just these three, I can mix my secondary colors, green, orange, and purple, to create any mood I want. The landscape print, with its greens and blues, is a perfect example of what's possible with this palette. Plus a black ink for the details. The fish print could also be made using primarily the blue with just a touch of magenta. From a simple line drawing to a textured soft ground print, from a monochrome image to a multi-layered color scene, the possibilities are truly endless. And it all starts with a simple plate, a needle, and your imagination. I hope this has demystified the process for you and shown you that etching is not some inaccessible art form, but a rewarding hobby you can explore yourself. If you're inspired to learn more, I can recommend these books: The Thames and Hudson Manual of Etching and Engraving by Walter Chamberlain, and The Art of Etching by E.S. Lumsden. Thank you all for listening. I hope you feel inspired to start your own etching adventure.